Human beings are searching for the personal experience of reality. They are seeking to come to understand themselves, to find a reason for their own existence.
And so you go round and round and round, ever chasing the illusion that there is something outside yourself, outside your here and now, to be attained that will make things better.
No guru, no method, no teacher, and no nothing else either.
All right. Hello, everybody. Kayla and I are wearing the same clothes from the week before, since this will be spaced out a week.
Dirty.
No, we're recording two at once. I would ask you how you're doing, Kayla, but I already know, and it's kind of exhausting.
Hashtag empath.
This is a lot funner than sitting here and doing this by myself all the time. Kayla, since you read the daily reading or just picked one random last time at the end, let's pick another book, or you can pick the same book. Open it up and I'll read something. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I like this book.
Then go for the one you don't like.
All right. Why don't you just tell me to pick that one?
I want to see if you would.
I'm a creature of habit.
Okay, we'll go with September 10th. There are exceptions to the rule, creature of habit. No, there are exceptions to the rule.
Get out of here.
But generally speaking, nobody loves you like your mother loves you. Somewhere in the finely meshed fabric of life, she wove a strength, a golden cord that ties you to her and releases you to go at the same time. The binding is not to possess, but to protect, to be there when she is needed. In youth, we felt the strain of too much watchfulness, too many questions. But time, the equalizer, shows the quality of love was more unselfish than we thought, more precious than we ever dreamed it would be. And the greatest of all, it is not blood that connects, but simply a choosing to love because she wants to, not because of duty. It frees us to know that if we were chosen to be loved, then this must surely be the time to say, I like you or I love you, Mama. Comanche may die tomorrow or 10 years. When end come, they all be together again. I want to see my mother again. That was said by Quanah Parker. That's an interesting reading, I guess. It's just about like connecting to your mom. You got all you got is umbilical cord.
They said a cord, didn't they?
A golden cord.
A golden. That's a fancy way to put it.
They were talking about like on a spiritual level, not an umbilical. You're thinking way too terrestrial there.
Okay, so I'll let you do the talking.
No. I can definitely relate to how it talked about like feeling strain or stress about like the over watchfulness. That's definitely something that I felt most of my life, really. But as I develop now, like I'm very fortunate that I have the mom that I do, because I was given the space to like actually kind of go through what we talked about the last episode, the healing madness. So there's some continuity there, and really reintegrate back into the real world, quote unquote, and
Right.
Actively pursue what I want to do. Had I been in another situation, I don't know that I would have gotten the opportunity to even be doing this as long as I've been doing this podcast, which will be almost 2 years. Come October, it'll be 2 years, or work on my business or all of that kind of stuff. So I'm incredibly grateful for my mom, and sometimes I do take her for granted, which is fucked up to say, but it's truthful at least.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. How about you?
I don't know. I like your mom, though. No, I mean, I do. She's like I only met her one time, but she's a very kind soul. Yeah, I liked her. No, I can relate to what you're saying, like with my mom and stuff. Like, she definitely, man, I put her through some stuff, but she definitely tried to intervene with all of my ideas, which I am grateful for. I mean, that woman, she did whatever she had to do to make my life harder, and whatever it was to, and she got a lot of stuff for it. We'll call it stuff. I was not nice to her, and I took what's now become my best friend and like my biggest motivator and support, but like I made her my biggest enemy. And she's, she stayed strong. And yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I took my mom for granted too. And I still do sometimes. So Mom, if you're watching, I love you.
Oh,
I won't do that anymore.
Oh, good on you, as they say somewhere in the world.
What? Yeah, it's not English, right?
I think it's Australian. They still speak English there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's very silly.
So the topic that I want to talk about now is something that you like. When I brought it up to you earlier, you're like, is that even a real thing? And it's I don't know. It's something I've thought about for a while, and
that was really crazy what you said.
Good on you.
No, don't say it again because now I'm gonna start laughing. No, you talking about the thing that you commented on Facebook?
No, that was
no,
not
insane.
that. Yeah, that was the thing that I commented on our Facebook was about we're going to mentally try to project ourselves back before the Big Bang and interact with fifth dimensional beings in Boise, Idaho, or play pranks on them, or
teabagging shadow people.
Yeah, teabagging shadow people was the other thing. I forgot that one. I remember the more complex.
I did not forget that one. That was like the one I remembered.
Wow. Yeah, that would be very difficult for you to teabag a shadow.
I know.
Unless it was with a literal teabag. Oh, there's not even teabags in there. No, the episode or the topic was your future self impacting your current reality.
Yeah, that one. That one's crazy too. But let's rock and roll. How do you feel about this?
So my take on that is it's pretty well understood that our past impacts are now.
Yeah.
And that's because the way that our minds are oriented is to see time in this linear fashion. But there's this whole concept that time is an illusion and not necessarily linear, but we are oriented to see time in that way because it makes navigating reality easier.
So would this have anything to do with like your higher self, like impacting right now? Because your future self would technically be your higher self, right?
Theoretically, it depends on what
you believe in.
Yeah, I mean, you're always your higher self is just in different phases of it, in my understanding. Like you can't not be.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
But it would be like, for me, there was times when I was going through my like mental illness when intuition kicked in and like told me to take a different course of action. Then there was times several years down the road where I'm remembering that instance, and it's almost like the sense of, how do I want to describe it?
Like deja vu?
Yeah, it's like a deja vu type thing, but it's almost like me being that voice in my own head at that time. And I can understand that it could just be my mind making me think that way.
No, I think I've like actually experienced stuff like that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like almost like reminiscing. Like for me, like you know what I mean? Like there's been multiple instances in my life where I've like randomly like just couldn't go through with something, like my gut told me not to, or I got like directed in some weird fashion, some other way, and then like years later, like I had like a really like weird sense of like deja vu that was just like, oh my god, like I feel like I've done this before, but like I don't know, I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah, for me, it's like almost like a feeling of deja vu, but it's different in the sense that it's like I haven't done it before, but like remembering that behavior in my mind kind of being like, I'm getting you through that situation now, even though it happened
kind of like what could have been, I'm getting you through that, or
So it's like the current way that I'm thinking is impacting what had already happened. So it's like there's been instances in my recovery where even where maybe me now or me a year from now altered the course of it. Or even like so much as saying as something that hasn't happened yet can be impacted by another version of myself in the future. I know this shit sounds batshit crazy.
Well, no, you know what? Like, listen, nothing sounds crazy to me anymore with the shit I've been experiencing. I'm just like, you know what? Like, anything is possible. I just don't know if I've personally experienced that. I kind of want to though. Like, really, I don't know if I'm 100% following it, but sounds very interesting.
I'm trying to think of another way to explain it.
Yeah,
So
I want
like
you to, because I like really, I feel like it probably has happened to me, and I want to understand it.
So let's say previous you, Kayla 5 years ago was going to pick up some dope or something.
That's the only thing I would have been doing.
So previous you, Kayla was going to pick up some dope, but Kayla now is thinking about that experience of Kayla going to pick up dope. And for whatever reason, you have this thought of like, oh, I hope that I don't do that, or like I'm grateful that I didn't go do that. But that thought that you're having in that instance now actually alters that course. And for some reason, you don't go get dope that night. You go do something else and you avoid this deeper situation that could have occurred.
Well, how do we ever really know if that's how?
No, we can't know.
Oh, dude, I was like, oh man, yeah, we would never know.
But here's the thing, though. But what if you feel like you know it, but there's no way you can prove it? Just like there's lots of things that I've experienced, like different phenomena of knowing something is going to happen. I can't prove to anybody else that I knew that was going to happen. It's the same concept. It's just one thing's accepted and one really isn't.
Oh, you're saying like how like people will accept like you predicting the future.
Well, some people will.
Some people, yeah, some people are stupid. But anyways, I should not be judgmental, but really, like, you know.
Maybe in their reality, it's just that doesn't happen in their reality. Because I'm also of the mindset of thought creates reality. So there's all these different realities going on in the world to where maybe in somebody's reality that doesn't happen.
You know what? And I've actually encountered people that I don't even, it's weird. It's like, I don't even think that they don't believe in psychics, but like there was one person in particular, like the only person so far I haven't been able to read their cards. Like they just have a block or something. It's really weird. Have you ever experienced that?
I had somebody who I feel like they consciously made it difficult, but
right.
My concept of the way that a lot of that stuff works is different than a lot of people that are involved in that stuff, I would say.
Like what's your, I know I'm changing this up.
Oh, you're fine. My concept of it really is that it's not necessarily as metaphysical as some people might think that it is. It's more just practical and realistic, but it's still a gift, I guess. Because here's the thing, I don't think anything is that like woo. I think that there's tangible reasons behind stuff, but there's like when you start to pick at those tangible reasons, it kind of opens up to this whole other weird world of stuff, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I just know like when I'm reading, like I hear things, they may like it tells a story, you know what I mean? It tells a story. And sometimes with certain people or person, it's just like I don't interact as well with the spirits or spirit guiding me with the reading, or the cards don't even make sense. They just don't make sense. It's like it doesn't want me to know anything. It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't get that normally though.
Me neither. Me neither. That's why I want to know, like, what in the hell? Like, has that ever happened to you? I don't get that either. So, I don't know. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. I have ADD, viewers. No, but like you said something about like proving or getting people to accept and believe that, because it's even hard, like with like being psychic, but it's a little bit easier because it hasn't happened yet. So like if you tell somebody, like me for instance, I have like weird dreams. I wake up, if anybody stayed the night at my house, I can wake up and I can tell them about a dream, and then it happens. Matter of fact, I was supposed to get a tattoo. Woke up, told somebody at my house, I was like, I just had this dream. Guy didn't, not only is it probably not happening, he's going to pass me off to somebody else, but then in my dream, he ended up doing the tattoo. That happened that day, same day. Matter of fact, dude took a nap and woke up and he's like, why aren't you getting your tattoo? I'm like, because my dream came true. But that's easier to prove because I say it and then it happens. But if you're trying to prove something that's already, happened, and you're trying to tell somebody,
for sure,
or
yeah,
even tell yourself.
Well, I can believe anything. I mean, that's
Right?
The history of my whole freaking life is my level of denial, like creating all these problems. But no, like I like actually do believe that just from looking at things, and it could be me wanting to believe something. I don't really give a shit either way, honestly. Like, I just think it's interesting because if it's true, it doesn't matter, and if it's not true, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, really, but
it's just fun to pick at. I feel like I think one of the things too with a lot of different like quote unquote metaphysical stuff, or like proving a lot of this kind of stuff, and this has been reported by people, when you try to set out to prove it, it almost intrinsically fails by design because it doesn't want to be observed.
Yeah. No. That's I feel like any time that you actually put your hand in something too heavy and try to make it happen, it messes up.
For sure. And that kind of like goes into the whole concept of sometimes with like metaphysical things or like certain spells that people do or whatever, they don't actually talk about the mechanisms or how it works specifically, because they have the belief that if they explain it, it will lose its potency.
Right.
So you have to leave this level of
Mystique.
Vagueness and mystery, because that's actually part of what fuels it.
I know, isn't it cool? Only unless you're like a control freak and want to know everything like myself, then I'm like, well, what the fuck? I have to know everything.
Yeah, I used to be like that, and then I realized that like the universe or spirit, whatever it is playful, and it'll give you enough and like let you think you know everything, and it'll do something else, and eventually you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Just go universe over there. I got shit to do, universe.
Yeah, the universe is funny. Like to play a lot of pranks, and I'm just like, what?
You got jokes, universe?
Right.
You got jokes.
For real, seriously. It's a motherfucker. But I love it.
I feel like future me is saying this is a good point to stop for the day and move forward with anything. Do you have anything?
Future me says I don't have anything to say. I just don't ever know how to end anything.
Just speak from the heart.
And you put that right towards me. Now you made me nervous. I don't know. I really enjoy being here. I'm happy you had me out again. Definitely like this opportunity. And we have some like really cool conversations. I never know what the hell I'm going to get over here. So I'm happy for that. So thank you.
Thanks, Kayla. And if you're watching this on Facebook, like it, share it, subscribe to the podcast channel. If you're listening to it on iTunes, review it, and subscribe on iTunes. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Give me